ළමයි සර් මේ පොඩි වෙලාවක් වලට විනාඩි 5ක් 10ක් වගේ ඇතුළත ලොග් වෙන්නම් කියලා කිව්වා. පොඩ්ඩක් ලේට් වෙනවා කියලා. ෆයර් නේද? ළමයි එනවා නේද?
ඔව් සර් එනවා. හරි.
හරි. මේ සර් දැන් මම හිතන්නේ මේ IS එකේ ක්ලාස් එකට ගිහලා දැන් ආවේ කියලා කිව්වා. මට විනාඩි 5ක් 10ක් ඇතුළත ලොග් වෙන්නම් කිව්වා. ඔයාලට පොඩ්ඩක් මැසේජ් එකක් දෙන්න කියලා. ඔයාලා ඔහොම ඉන්න සර් ලොග් වෙයි.
ඕකේ සර්.
හරි.
Right. Let's start the session. Unfortunately, yesterday we were unable to do the class. The problem was yesterday that there was another class conducted by our law sir. So yesterday the time passed. Maybe I need to share with you the tutorial what I have given you. All of you have that tute. Personally, you have the tute because of course now in my laptop I saved it and also I can share, but right now the host has not yet been passed. So that's the case. Right now, I can't contact someone, sir, also, but now, shall we start the session? Otherwise, it will be waste your time. So, all you have the tube, right? I assume that all of you have the tube I shared you, right? Okay,
Yes, sir, we have it.
right. Okay. Then on the last day we met, we discussed about theory of demand. Number one, we discussed. Number two, we discussed. And number three, the requirement should be fulfilled for effective demand. That part also we discussed. And what are the determinants of demand for a product in generally? That part also we covered. And of course, what is the assumption being made when identifying the relationship between determinants of demand and the demand of a product? Yes, we discussed. Yes, somebody has shared the tube. What is the law of demand? That also we discussed, no? Isn't it? We discussed or need to be discussed. Law of demand. Yes, I think we discussed.
සර් අද තියෙන්නේ 7 වෙනි එක.
Number 7 onwards, right? What are the ways of presenting the law of demand? Describe them in brief. Yes. What are the ways of presenting? What are the ways of presenting the law of demand? As you know, all the law of demand is what? What is the meaning of law of demand? What is the law of demand? When we are describing or deriving that law of demand, what factor we are going to take it out? What is the factor we are going to take out from all the other determinants of factors? What is the factor we are going to consider?
Price of good. Price of the good.
Of a product, yes. Price of a product or price of a commodity. That's the factor we are going to differentiate from the other factors. Now, the thing is, the factor we are going to consider when we are describing or deriving or constructing the law of demand is the price of a product. And we should now identify the relationship between the price of a product and the quantity demanded of the same product. Shall we take an example? We are considering of product X. We are considering of product X. Now we are considering the price of product X and the quantity demanded of X. Quantity demanded of X. Based on this, now we are going to discuss. This is what I need to be get done. Right, okay. This is the number 7. Then, as you know, the difference between the price of a product and the quantity demanded of the same product is inverse relationship. As you know, that inverse relationship is being inverse relationship is there. And to show that inverse relationship between these two, so we are going to present the law of demand by using arithmetic techniques. We use arithmetic techniques. Sometimes maybe using as you know that demand schedule and also demand function and also the graphical presentation. So what are the ways of presenting the law of demand is what? So first thing is demand schedule. That is arithmetic presentation of the theory of the law of theory. That is arithmetic approach. And the second one is geometric approach and algebraic approach. There are 3 ways of presenting the law of demand. What are the ways of presenting the law of demand? Please write down. First one is demand schedule. First one is demand schedule. And please put a small dash and write in front of the demand schedule. What do you mean by demand schedule is what? Demand schedule is what? Arithmetic presentation of the law of demand. Arithmetic presentation of the law of demand. That is the arithmetic presentation of the law of demand. Arithmetic presentation of the law of demand. That is the demand schedule. Simply we can say the arithmetic presentation. That means everywhere in the demand schedule we can see only the numbers. only the numbers are in the entire demand schedule, right? No graphs and also no equations and no ABC like that. So only we can see the numbers. By using the numbers, we try to present the law of demand, right? අංකගණිතමය ප්‍රවේශයේදී අපිට තියෙන්නේ පුතේ තනිකරම සංඛ්‍යා විතරයි. එහෙනම් ඉල්ලුම් ලේඛනය demand schedule කියලා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? ඉල්ලුම් නීතියේ අංකගණිතමය ඉදිරිපත් කිරීම. ඉල්ලුම් නීතියේ අංකගණිතමය ඉදිරිපත් කිරීම. When you are going to derive demand schedule, you have to include several prices. The different prices should be included in the demand schedule. You are unable to describe by using this demand schedule. You have to include several numbers, that means several prices, not only specific prices. There are several and different prices should be included. And against that, you have to include the demand, quantity demanded against that different prices. You have to include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that, different price. And against that prices, you have to include the demand. Keep it in your mind, you have to always keep the relationship. Always you have to keep the relationship. What the relationship is, මොකක්ද ඒ අතර තියෙන සම්බන්ධය? Inverse relationship. When the price is going up, the quantity demanded should be reduced. That's the relationship. And the second one is demand function. Write down please the demand function. Demand function. What do you mean by demand function is?
Excuse me, sir. Your video is breaking up.
What?
Your video is not clear, sir. කැඩි යන video එක.
You can not hearing.
Sir ඇහෙනවා මේ දැන් හරි sir පේනවා කැඩි video එක.
Right. Okay. Then the thing is, now demand function is what? Now demand schedule is what? Which presentation? Arithmetic presentation. But demand function is what? Algebraic presentation. That is the answer. Right? Please write down, please. Demand function is algebraic presentation, Vijaganitamaya, algebraic presentation of the law of demand. The law of demand. When I am sharing the document, then only that the thing happens. The video is something like not clear. When I'm sharing the document, it will happen. Right, okay. What do you mean by the demand function is? Demand function is algebraic presentation of the law of demand. Algebraic presentation of the law of demand. That is the, and that means there is a equation. There is an equation. QD equal A minus BP. That is the demand equation. Illum Samikarane. That is the demand equation commonly used. Right? QD equal A minus BP. That is the demand equation we used. Right, okay. And the third one is what? The final one is demand curve. Demand curve. That means demand curve is, please write down, the graphical presentation of the graphical presentation of the law of demand. The graphical presentation of the law of demand. Now, out of these three, which one is the base one? Which one is the foundation? Can you tell me? Out of
Sir,
these
excuse me.
three, which one is the base one? Right? The graphical presentation of the law of demand. Demand curve, put a dash and write, please. The graphical presentation of the law of demand. Illum niti prastarika nirupanaya. Illum vakrayanam ve. Illum niti prastarika nirupanaya. Anyway, you have to write in English, no? Isn't it? Or allowing to write Sinhala as optional language. Or compulsorily you will have to write in English.
Yes, sir.
For what you are saying, yes?
Only English.
Only English, that's the thing, no? Right? That's what you, anyway, you have to make sure your ability to write down. Right, okay, never mind. That's first thing is demand schedule, and the second one is demand function, and third one is demand curve. Right. Now, how we are going to identify the inverse relationship of each presentation? How you are going to identify the inverse relationship according to this presentation? First one is demand schedule. Yes, you can identify by observing the numbers pattern. You can observe when the prices are going up, simultaneously the quantity demanded will come down. That's the pattern. By observing that pattern, then only you can identify and understand what is the relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. As well as How you are going to understand by using this demand function, the inverse relationship? How you are going to understand the inverse relationship in this demand function? Sine minus sine. This is the sine. Minus signs is there because of the inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demand. That's the thing. The minus signs is there of that signs. The reflection is there. What is the reflection is inverse relationship. The final one is the graphical presentation. Now the slope is the identification, the slope. Now you can identify, now you can observe, or simply you can see this slope. Which type of slope is negative slope? Negative slope. By using this, by observing this, the type of slope, then only you can understand what is the relationship, that is inverse relationship. Got the point? Then the patterns of numbers in demand schedule and signs negative is there in demand curve, demand function, and finally, in case of demand curve, you can observe the slope of the curve. Right? Okay. Shall we move on to the next? Now this is for a construct a demand function and the demand curve using the following statistics. Following statistics given. What is the product here? X. The name of the product is given X. 250 and 500 and quantity demanded 15,000, 12,500. I don't know what the measurement is. Maybe sometimes numbers or quantity in tons or kilograms or whatever it is, it doesn't material for the question. And construct a demand function and the demand curve. First, you have to construct a demand function. Please, if you can, please construct or derive by using these numbers. Please construct and let me know what the answer is. I can share you the document. Right. I share you the document and also stop video. Then of course you can identify and understand very clearly. I think there may be a signal problem. Otherwise, it does not happen early, but I don't know. Construct a demand function, please. I think all of you can construct. Yes. If somebody finish, please. Question given like this. PNQD P250 15,000 and 500 and 12,500. Can you tell more? What is this? What the thing is? What is this actually? Can you tell? Can you identify what is this? Open your mouth and tell. Open your mouth and say. Don't just type and send it to me as a message. I'm asking a very simple question. What is this? Demand schedule. Demand schedule. Based on this, we are going to construct demand function. Now, what is the equation we generally use is QD equal A minus BP. So you can write it. QD equal A minus BP. And as you know all, now here, when you are deriving demand function, the presentation should be like this. 10,000 minus 6p. The answer should like this. That means we have to substitute a value for A as well as we have to substitute a value for B. That's the things we have to do. To do that, anyway, we have to calculate A and B. Based on these numbers, you have to calculate A and B and substitute this A and B against this A and B. Then your presentation is over. Now, how we are going to calculate? First, we have to calculate AOB. Definitely, you have to calculate B first. Sometimes in your question, A given. A straight away, the examiner has given. Nothing to do with calculating A. But in here, you have to calculate B as well as A. How you are going to calculate B? how you are going to calculate B? You know, there is a small calculation and there is a small equation to calculate B. How you are going to calculate B? B is equal what? Delta QD divided by delta P. Divided delta QD divided by delta P. Delta QD how much? 2500. Delta P how much? 250. Then B is 100. B is 100. And we can substitute that 10 into B. We can substitute 10. The answer for B, now we are going to substitute this 10, the reply for B into B in the demand function. After that, we have to assume out of this QD, we have to assume out of this QD either 15,000 or 12,500. We have to substitute QD. Shall we take one? 15,000. I am going to take 15,000. I took 15,000. Then A should be here. We have to find the answer for A and we substitute 10 for B, and also we have to substitute P. Then we are unable to substitute P, any number. You can't substitute any number. Now here, of course, you took 15,000. Simultaneously, you have to take 250 as a price. 250. Then you know A, 2,500, 250 into 10, then 2,500. Then A should be, we are taking 2,500. We are transfer this amount to other side. Then 15,000. Then minus become positive 2,500. Then A should be 17,500. Then 17,500. Then 17,500. Now you can write the answer finally. QD equal what? QD equal, I'm going to write here, QD equal 17,500 minus 10P. 17,500 minus 10P. That should be the answer.
Sir, excuse me, here the difference should be 2,500, isn't it? The difference between 12,500 and 15,000.
The difference between 15,000 and 12,500 is 2,500, yes. Then the difference between those P, 200 and 500 is 250. Then 2,500 divided by 250, the answer should be 10. Then we are substituting that 10 into B and multiplied by 250, then 2500. We 2500 we are going to take to the other side. Then 15,000 plus 2,500 and then 15,000 add 2,500, then altogether 17,500. Then answer should be
Okay.
QD equal 17,500 minus 10p. That should be the answer. But anyway, somebody send me an answer like 14,000, 40,000 minus 10p. If you want, you can check the answer whether it is correct or wrong. Huh? Now see, this is the answer. Now you can check whether this is correct or wrong. Shall we take one price? 250. Now please, or else we can take 5,500. Then how much? 10 into 500 means how much? Ten into 250. Ten into 250, how much? 2,500. Then 2,500. 17,000 minus 2,500 is what? 15,000. Okay. And again we can take 500. 500. $500 means what? 10 into 500. That means 5,000. Then 17,500 minus 5,000, 12,500. The answer is correct. Our answer is correct. Somebody send me an answer like 40,000 minus 10p. It can't be, because if you take that as an answer, then please substitute these prices. Then you will realize, then your answer will be wrong. You got the point, Puta? Right. Then of course now you can draw demand curve. You can draw demand curve also. How we are going to draw the demand curve? How you are going to draw? Please make sure about the axis of the graphs. Now this should be vertical axis. This should be vertical axis, and the price OP axis here, the vertical. And also this should be horizontal one for quantity axis. Not like mathematics, not like general mathematics. In general mathematics, of course, this horizontal axis on this horizontal axis, we indicate what? Independent variable. Independent variable. But this vertical axis we indicate dependent variable. But in economics, the other way. Here, the vertical axis we indicate P. And also, this horizontal axis, horizontal line, on this horizontal line, we take QD, quantity demanded. And then quantity demanded, and also we take the price of a product. These two variables we are going to take together. Now you can take these prices, two prices, the zero is there. Then you can take 100 by 100 or else 250 by 250, like that. There should be a same gap, 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500, like this, 600, like this. You can mark. And also the other way, on the horizontal line, you can take 2005 by 2005. Then 2000, first quantity should be 2005. The next one 5000, third one 7500, and fourth one 10,000, and then 12,500, and then 15,000, and after that 17,500 if you want. The gap should be always constant, the similar gap. You have to maintain. Now see what we are going to do. Now we are going to mark the point where necessary. Now 250, and in that price the quantity should be 50,000. The price should be 2,500 between 200 and 300, and the quantity should be 15,000. Quantity should be 15,000. The price should be 2,250. That means exact in the middle between 300 and 200. Exactly middle. 300 and 200. And 500. Against 500, the amount is 12,500. 12,500. And this is the curve. Now we can indicate by putting capital D letter. We indicate the demand curve. This is the indicator of demand curve, capital D. Most of the time we use capital letters to indicate as an indicator. Don't get mix it up with the price and quantity. Yeah? Make sure what are the axes, what are the axes of using, what are the axes being used. Always this vertical axis is used for P and horizontal axis is used for to indicate quantity demanded. That's all. When you are deriving this demand curve, which determinant is taking out, which determinant, that is price. මිල තමයි අපි සැලකිල්ලට ගන්නේ ඉල්ලුම් රේඛාව ගොඩනගද්දී. ඉල්ලුම් රේඛාව ගොඩනගද්දී හැම වෙලාවෙම අපි ගන්නේ මොකද්ද? සලකා බලන භාණ්ඩයේ මිල. The price of considered commodity and the quantity demanded of the same product. Try to keep the next one. Describe differences between change in demand and the change in the quantity demanded. What is the difference between change in demand and the change in the quantity demanded? How you are going to show by using this graphical presentation? What is the difference between the change in demand and the change in the quantity demanded? Right. Shall we write down? Right. Now you can write. Before writing, please look at the board and see. Now, changing quantity demanded is the concept that we can understand. Changing quantity demanded is the reason for changing in the quantity demanded. The only and one and only reason for changing in the quantity demanded is what? The price. Price of considered product. The price of the considered product. That is the major difference. The reason for changing in the quantity demanded is what? The price of the particular product, not other determinant. ඉල්ලුම් ප්‍රමාණයේ වෙනස් වීම සඳහා හේතු වන එකම සාධකය මොකද්ද පුතේ? සලකා බලන භාණ්ඩයේ මිල. Not other factors. අනිකුත් සාධක නෙවෙයි. What are the reasons? Now, please try to understand. My question was, what is the reason for changing? What is the reason for changing in the quantity demanded? Only one reason. But I'm asking the question, in case of change in demand like this. What are the reasons for changing in demand? Then what are the reasons? Or if I want, I can question from you, putting what is the reason. But better than that, what are the reasons? What are the reasons means all the factors except one, the price of the product. There are several, there are different determinants are there to change in demand. To change in demand. Then first reason is, the first difference is what? The reason. Change in demand, change in the quantity demanded. Because of why? The price of the particular product. Then reason for changing in demand, what? Reasons except the reason, that means determinants except the price of the product. There may be number of reasons, maybe consumers' income, consumers' interest, future expectations, price of substitute good, and some professionals' opinion. Now say doctor says, don't eat kottumi. Most of the case I heard that some doctor says, don't eat kottumi too much. Have you heard? Don't eat kottumi. 1 minute noodles, you know, that Tata's noodles. At that day, no noodles like Tata's noodles. Now you are busy with the schedules in day-to-day activities. You are unable to waste your time preparing goods and all. You can't take long time, no. At that period, our mothers and that people, they take a long time to prepare dishes and all. Sometimes they may prepare 2-3 dishes and take 2-3 hours to prepare and steer it well and prepare. But now, no time to spend on that, because every people are in a busy schedule. So all you need a shortcut. So that's why the producers or entrepreneurs, they used to introduce in short methods to prepare your dishes and all. So that's why they introduced Tata's noodles, 1 minute noodles, kottumi and all. So just put into the hot water and taking back within shortest time and prepare. Put in that, some spices and like that, and have it. That everything finish. Now, when you are consuming that type of foods for a long time, it will cause severe disease. That's the professional opinion, professional doctor's opinion. It will affect on the demand. To change the demand is what? the change in demand. So like that the thing is, and reason for changing demand. Then what are the reason in changing demand? Opinions, the professional opinions, consumers' income, that customers' income, customers' desire or interest, the price of relative goods or related goods, and what else? Future price expectation and advertisements and sales promotion. Based on those factors for a product, the demand will be changed. That concept we say change in demand. Illumehi venasa, change in demand, not change in the quantity demand. Illum pramane venasa saha illume venasa. Now, of course, you can understand what the reason is for changing demand and changing the demand quantity, the quantity demand. First thing is the reason. The first difference. The second one is the presentation. The presentation. How we are going to present the change in the quantity demanded. How we are going to present the change in the quantity demanded. How we are going to present? It is very simple way is for that. We draw demand curve. We draw a demand curve like this. We draw a demand curve like this, right? And we indicate that line is demand. And we assume one price. And we assume one quantity also. Now the price is there and quantity is there. And then after that, we change the price. If you need either side, now we can increase price up to P1. Then you can realize, now you will realize the quantity demanded will be reduced. And then the earlier point on the line was A. Then after that, the point on the line is B. What happened is we moved along the same demand curve. That's the thing. We moved from one point to another point along the same demand curve. This is the way of presenting changing in the quantity demand. This is the way of presenting the changing the quantity demand. How we are going to present? We construct demand curve and we take one price and we assume another price, maybe increase or decrease, whatever it is. If it is increase, then we can notice or we can understand the price will be increased. Simultaneously, the quantity will be decreased, as you know, because inverse relationship. Price will be increased, quantity will be decreased. Then we have to climb up on the same demand curve. Now, earlier our point was when we were at point A, but after changing this price, our new point is B. Then we moved along the same demand curve. That is the presentation of changing in the quantity demand. Right? And the corresponding to that, now we can draw another line. We can draw another line. Demand curve. Another demand curve. This is P and this is Q. Now see, now this is for what? Changing demand. Changing demand, not changing quantity demand. Now the price is always constant. Price is always constant. Then the other factors will be changed. The other factors will be changed means the price will be same. Then you will realize the demand curve will be shifted. Then demand curve will be shifted either to the right side or to the left side. Right? When the change in demand means when the demand increase, then the demand curve will be shifted to the right side. When the demand decrease, the demand curve will be shifted to the left side. Demand එක වැඩි වෙනවා නම් ඉල්ලුම වැඩි වෙනවා නම් demand curve එක shift වෙනවා. Here no shift. We move along the same demand curve. Here no same demand curve. We have to shift the demand curve either to the right side or to the left side. When it is demand increase, in case of demand increase, we have to move, we have to shift the demand curve to the right side. After, when the demand reduce, we have to shift the demand curve to the left side. This is the basic presentation of change in demand. Change in demand. Right? I think you realize what are the differences between change in demand and the changing the quantity demand. Right? Please write down, please. You can put two sides. Now, like this. Left side, on the left side, you can put changing demand. Right? On the left side, you can put changing demand. On the right side, you can put change in quantity demanded. Right? Sometimes you may not be able to read my handwriting. Then please follow when I am writing. On left side, please write change in demand. On the right side, change in quantity demand. Now, write one by one. First one is change in demand. The reason for changing demand is the reason for changing demand is right, fill in the blank. Please tell me. The reason for the changing demand is the reason for the changing demand. Reason for the changing demand is what? What is the reason? All the determinants reasons for changing demand, reasons for changing demand, or reason. Shall we take one? Reason for changing demand is all the determinants except the price of the product. The price of the product. භාණ්ඩයේ මිල හැර සෙසු සාධක තමයි මේකට හේතු වෙන්නේ. මේකට හේතුව ඔක්කොම අපි එකට ගත්තා. The reason for changing demand is all the determinants except the price of the product. Right on the other side, the reason for this, shall we take straight away? Reason for this is the price of the product. The price of the product. Second one is when changing demand, when change in demand, ඉල්ලුමෙහි නැත්නම් ඉල්ලුම වෙනස් වීමේදී when change in demand, comma, the demand curve will be shifted either to the right side, either or either, some people pronounce either like either to the right side or to the left side. Either to the right side or to the left side. When changing demand, the demand curve will be shifted either to the right side or to the left side. දකුණු පැත්තේ ලියන්න. In here, මෙහිදී, in here, it can be moved. It can be moved. It can be moved. It can be moved. M-O-V-E-D. It can be moved from one point to the other point. It can be moved from one point to another point. One point to another point on the same demand curve. On the same demand curve. On the same demand curve. Right? If you want, you can draw this. you want, you can draw. Left side, you can draw this. This is, there is a change in demand here and shift right side or left side. Here, change in the quantity demanded, that is the movement on the same line. Right? This is change in quantity demanded. This is for change in demand. Change in demand and change in quantity demand. Just draw it for better understanding, right? Right. 10th one. Examine the following demand function and do the calculation by using the figures given below. QD equal 1600 minus 200p plus 0.04y plus 0.08 PR. Draw the demand curve when the consumer's income is rupees 10,000 and the price of related good is 1,000. Draw the subsequent demand curve when the customer's income is increased up to 12,000 and the price of other goods is increased by 5,000. Right. Okay. This is very odd one actually. When we studied AL, we have never seen like this type of demand function. We have never seen demand function like this. But in your study, it is like this. Examine the following demand function and do the calculation by using the figures given below. Quantity demanded 1600 minus 2200p minus the plus 0.04y plus 0.08 PR. Here y indicates for yield. Please write down here y indicates for yield. Yield means what? Consumer's income. Consumer's income. here after 200p minus 200p, then plus 0.04. Why we put here plus? Income and quantity demanded. In between income and quantity demanded, the relationship between these two is plus. The plus relationship and positive relationship we can see in between the quantity demanded and the consumer's income. So that's why we put here signs plus. In between the quantity demanded and the consumer's income, the relationship between these two is plus or positive. And in the same, PR means what? The price of related goods. The price of related goods. Here, 0.08 PR. Now, when a price of a related goods go up, the price of the quantity demanded of the considered good, සලකා බලන භාණ්ඩයේ ඉල්ලුම් ප්‍රමාණය මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඉහළ යනවා. සම්බන්ධිත භාණ්ඩයක මිල ඉහළ යනකොට සලකා බලන භාණ්ඩයේ ඉල්ලුම් ප්‍රමාණය ඉහළ යනවා. අපි තුමුකෝ සම්බන්ධිත භාණ්ඩය අපි ගමුකෝ පෙට්‍රල් කියන. Shall we take that related goods like petrol? Then considered good is what? Vehicle. Petrol and vehicle. When the petrol is going up, the considered good is, if it is a vehicle, the demand should be reduced. At that time, the related goods and the considered demand, the demand of the considered good having what type of relationship? Inverse relationship. Inverse relationship. But here, not like that. Shall we take relative goods? Shall we take rice? Price of rice. Price of rice will be go up. Considered good is flour. Right? Wheat flour. Wheat flour means what? Teringu piti. Now the considered good is rice. When the price of rice go up, then what will happen is the demand for wheat flour also will go up. සහල් වල මිල වැඩි වුණාන් පස්සේ මොකද වෙන්නේ? තිරිඟු පොටි වල ඉල්ලුම වැඩි වෙනවා. ඇයි එහෙම වෙන්නේ? සහල් වල මිල වැඩි වුණාම මිනිස්සු සහල් පරිභෝජනය අඩු කරනවා. සහල් පරිභෝජනය අඩු කරලා they will shift towards where? They will shift towards where? තිරිඟු පිටි. Wheat flour. ඒ පැත්තට එවුන්ගේ ඉල්ලුම යනවා. When the price of rice go up, some users of rice, they refuse to purchase rice and they move towards wheat flour and purchase. And then the price of wheat flour or else the demand of wheat flour will go up. මොකද වෙන්නේ? wheat flour වලට තියෙන ඉල්ලුම වැඩි වෙනවා. ඇයි? මිනිස්සු අර සහල් වලට තියෙන ඉල්ලුම අඩු කරලා wheat flour වලට මාරු වෙනවා. එතකොට ඒවට තියෙන ඉල්ලුම මොකද වෙන්නේ? වැඩි වෙනවා. එතකොට in case of substitution goods, the price and the quantity having what? Positive relationship. Now like this, here also in the same scenario we can see the quantity demanded and the price of related goods having what type of relationship? Positive relationship. Then of course we can see positive relationship in between the quantity demanded and the price of related goods. Shall we draw first? Draw the demand curve when the consumer's income is 8,000 and the price of related goods 1,000. Now this is our demand function. Please write down the demand function. Please write down the demand function. My dear student, I am going to arrange an extra class also in this week because I need to accelerate little because still we are in the discussion in the middle of the lesson, lesson number 2, but we have to cover a lot between this within possible time, and now it is very sure to arrange a very special extra class, right, to finish this lesson as much as possible, right? Early. Take quantity demanded. Right, 1,600 minus 1,600 minus 200p plus 0.04 y plus 0.08 pr. This is the demand function. This is the demand function like never ever meet before. අපිට කවදාකවත් මීට කලින් හම්බ වෙලා නැහැ, but this may be the first time. Draw the demand curve when the consumer's income is 10,000 and the price of related good is 1,000. Then we have to substitute 1,600 minus 200p plus and we take how? 8,000. 0.04 into 8,000 plus 0.08 into how much? 1,000. And simplify this. 1,600 minus 200p plus 0.04 into 8,000. That's why y equal 8,000 plus 0.08 into 1,000. Please simplify and put the answer. 1,600 minus 200p plus how much? Here how much? 8,004. Then 32,000. 32,000. That means 320. 320 plus here 8,000, 8,000, then 80. That means 80. When we simplify this, 0.04 into 8,000 means 320. 0.08 into 1,000 means 80. Then 320 plus 80 means 400. Then 400 plus 1,600 means 2,000 minus 200. This should be the demand function. This is the demand function. After adjusting the effect of income and the related goods, after adjusting to the original demand function, we take this demand function like this, 2,000 and 200 P. This is the new demand function after adjusting those 8,000 and 1,000. Right? And based on this, now we are going to calculate, and now we are going to draw demand curve. Now we are going to draw demand curve based on this. Right? Here we can put P. Here we can put QD. Now we can just assume two prices. What are the prices that we can assume? What are the prices that we can assume is, first we can assume like price 10. Now please mark here 10, rupees 10. Rupees 10. And substitute here 10 instead of P. P වෙනුවට 10 ආදේශ කරන්න. Substitute 10, that 10 into P. එතකොට 200ට 200 වැඩි කිරීම 10 2000යි. එතකොට මේ 2000න් මේ 2000 ගියාම බිඳුව. එතකොට මිල බිඳුවේදී ඉල්ලුම් ප්‍රමාණය බිඳුවයි. මිල 10 දී ඉල්ලුම් ප්‍රමාණය බිඳුවයි. ඒක ටිකක් ඈඩ් කරලා අඳිමු නේද? එතකොට උපරිම මිල වෙන්නේ මේකේ 10යි. ඒකෙන්ද shall we take one by one? Don't take 10 at once. Shall we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like that. Then our presentation will be clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then at the price 10, the demand will be 0. At the price 10, the demand will be 0. Then the point should be here. And shall we take another price? Shall we take another price? Just assume price of rupees 5. The price is rupees 5. Price is rupees 5. Then substitute here. Now P instead of 5. Then 200 into 5. Then 1000. Then 2000 minus 1000. Then it is 1000. Shall we take 1000 here? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000. Or else 200, like. Shall we take 200? 200, 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1002, 1400, 1600, 1800, and 2000. 200 by 200, 200, 200, then 200, 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1002, 1004, 1006, 1008, 2000. And we just assume the price of the product at this moment is 5. Then how much? This is 5. This is 1000. This is the demand point at the price of 5. Then we can draw the line. We can draw the line. We can draw the line and put the indicator D. This is the demand curve. This is the demand. Now, the second one, the question number 2 asks what? Draw the subsequent demand curve. ඊට පස්සේ අඳින්නලු demand curve එක ඒකටම. ඒකෙම අඳින්න කියලා කියන්නේ. When the customer's income is increased up to 12,000. Then ඊළඟට අඳින්නලු මේක 12,000 වලට වැඩි වෙනවලු y. y 12,000 වලට යනවලු. ඊට පස්සේ related goods. The price of the other goods is increased by 5,000, not up to. By 5,000 means what? 5000කින් වැඩි වෙනවා. 5000කින් වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒ කියලා කියන්නේ කීයක් වෙනවද? 1000ක් නේ තිබ්බේ. දැන් ඒක 6000ක් වෙනවා. Up to 12,000 and increase by 5,000. and 12000ක් දක්වා වැඩි වෙනවා. අනිත් එක 5000කින් වැඩි වෙනවා. එහෙනම් අලුත් එක කීයක් වෙන්න ඕන? අලුත් එක කීයක් වෙන්න ඕන? අපි දැන් අලුත් demand function එක අදිමු. හැබැයි price එක හැමමයි යා. price එක no change. price ගැන කියන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙනම් දැන් ඔයාලා අඳින්න ගොඩනගන්න බලන්න අලුත් demand function එක using this two figures, the changing figures. කොහොමද? $1,600 MMI 1,600 MMI මයිත් එක්ක කරන්න 1,600 MMI minus 200p MMI 0.04 වැඩි කරන්න ඕන. Now it will be how much? Increase up to 12,000. Then 0.04 multiplied by 12,000 multiplied by 12,000 and 0.08 multiplied by 6,000. Sometimes you are unable to see the board. That's why I ask you to follow me. Right? Shall I repeat again? QD equal 1,600 minus 200p plus 0.04, then 0.04 into 12,000 plus 0.08 into 6,000. Please simplify this. Then 1,600 200p plus then how much? 12,004. That means 48,000. That means 408. 408. 0.08 into 6,000. That means how much? That is also 48. 480. Then 480. Then altogether we can add 1,600, add 480, add 480. How much? 480 and 480, 960. Then 960 at 1,600, then 2,560. 2,560 minus 200p. Then after adjusting Y and PR, 12,000 and 6,000, the demand function should be 2,560 minus 200p. Now we can understand, earlier it was how much? 2,000. Now it become 2,560. Then ඒක වෙලා තියෙනවා 2,560ක් බවට පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා. Right? Now we can substitute like earlier. We assume here rupees 10. Earlier also we take rupees 10 at the first time. Now here 2,000 into 10, 2000, then 2560 minus 2000, then the answer should be 560. Then how much? Here rupees 10, 560 like this here. The new point should be here. 560. Price not change. 10 like earlier. Price not change. It is same as like earlier. Only the quantity change 2560. And we can take next price is how much? 5. 2200 into 5, that 1000, then 2560 minus 1000, 1560. 1560 is how much? Rupees 5. 1560 is like here. Then what will happen is the new demand curve will be shifted. The new demand curve will be shifted. Like this. It shifted to the right side because change in demand, not change in quantity demanded. The demand curve shifted to the right side because the quantity demand, not quantity demanded, the change in demand increased. That is the increment of demand. New demand curve we can indicate as D1. Now you can understand very clearly when the other factors except price. Now see here, consumers' income and other related goods. These factors, if those factors are changed, then the demand curve will be shifted to the right side or left side. Right? The same thing will happen if these factors will be reduced. Right? Now you can understand what are the concepts I try to explain you. Right? Demand curve going to shift it to the right side. Right? If you want, you can do the same exercise once again. Right? Right. Okay. Now, of course, it is 2247. That means 1048. Right? But I'm not going to prolong my session further because I'm very tired. Still, I'm continuing today without stopping. By educating this student, because now continuously I did classes almost 7 hours. So it is very time. Now I am going to stop the class. Now you can understand what the concept here, and definitely I am going to arrange a fresh extra class for finalizing this demand theory. It may be most of the time, it may be Wednesday or Thursday, right? 8 to finish the game. I'm going to start it at about 8 and until finish the demand theory. So please tell others to participate with the session, because this that's why I am explaining very slowly, because if this lesson collapse, if this lesson you are unable to take the proper knowledge regarding this demand and all, you will collapse all the other lessons, because the other lessons, all the other lessons will be based on this demand theory and the theory of supply. Okay. Now, of course, I'm going to stop the session, and as I said earlier, I'm going to arrange another extra class. Most probably, it will be held on Wednesday or Thursday. Keep it in your mind. Maybe on Wednesday or Thursday at about 8 o'clock. Right? Okay. Thank you.